Hey guys, it's Claire again. As always, this is Small Joyful Things. I go out to thrift stores and estate sales and vintage stores and anywhere else I can find, and I find things that make me happy. And today I have something really cool to show you. It is this. I cannot get over how just how cool this is. I hope that it shows up. I mean, you can see the reflection. There's my curtain in the mirror itself. This is an antique mirror, and it is made out of stuff called celluloid. It's actually got a stamp here that says French Ivory. Let's see if I can get that on camera. Here we go, French Ivory. And this was basically just a fancy name for the celluloid. Now, I am so happy that I managed to find this. I paid $4 for this in a thrift store, and it is the first piece of celluloid that I've managed to find. Now, if you don't know what celluloid is like one of the first plastics that was ever invented. This particular mirror would have come from maybe the 1920s, maybe the 1910s, 1920s. Celluloid itself was first invented in the mid-19th century in Birmingham, as far as I know, and it's been called a few different names. It's basically a mixture of nitrocellulose and camphor, which is just an organic solid, and the stuff just makes it made. The point of this stuff anyway, they could do a whole lot of stuff with celluloid. You can turn it different colors and give it different surfaces and textures and a few other things. The point of this was that they were looking for a cheaper alternative to like actual ivory, because obviously ivory was quite expensive to acquire. And they were like the classic use is going to be for stuff like billiard balls, and they looked into using celluloid for that kind of thing. And you can see that the color here, and it may not be obvious, but it's got this tiny little lines in it that were specifically designed to kind of mimic the look of ivory. So they started making these lovely dresser sets, and it's like they'd have hairbrushes and an entire vanity set that would have included this mirror. Most of the celluloid pieces that you see nowadays are unfortunately very damaged. This one is in stupidly good condition. You can't really see very well from the camera, but it does have a few scratches and kind of wear that you would expect for something this old. The problem with celluloid is that this stuff is dangerous. It's not like regular plastic. Like regular plastic, or at least the stuff that we think of as being plastic nowadays, it's different. Like it's stable. You know, the worst that it can do is maybe get soft and melts on you. Nitrocellulose, like this stuff here, the celluloid, it's another beast. This stuff will spontaneously combust if it gets too hot. It's amazing. I mean, you can't leave it on a hot shelf or out in the sun. Like, it would literally just catch fire. And it is actually quite dangerous to have around, which is why I've decided that I'm not going to keep it. As much as I love it and I love the Art Deco style of it, I'm just terrified of it. It's amazing, and it's a wonderful piece of history, but I think I'm definitely going to be getting rid of it. The thing about celluloid is that you really have to be careful when you store it. Apart from the heat thing, you can't really do anything to, like, it's very difficult to clean. For this, it was slightly dusty, and the most I did with it was just wipe it down with a wipe, like a damp wipe. I couldn't even put dish soap or anything on it because I was terrified that it was going to be damaged. The structure of the celluloid means that it's prone to basically becoming brittle, to cracking and discoloring. It's why celluloid just doesn't last. Now, even in this one is in, as far as I can tell, really great condition, apart from a couple of, you can see there's a small scratch there, but it also has, you see here, there is a slight line here where the two pieces, like there's a front and back that would have been glued together. This is starting to split, and there's some yellowing starting to occur here. Like, this is a sign that there's some deterioration happening. Not unsurprising, because this is very old, and the stuff really doesn't last. But still, I am so glad that I found it, and I'm glad that I had a chance to essentially just to to go down the Wikipedia rabbit hole on reading up about the first plastics that were invented, because it is just an amazing piece. The thing that actually made me pick it up was that I saw it on a shelf and I thought it looked unusual, and I thought it looked kind of old, and I was curious about it. But when I picked it up, I could tell straight away from the weight that this was not regular plastic. I think that whoever actually put it into the thrift store, they thought it was just, you know, some random large hand mirror only worth $3 or $4 maybe. They just didn't realize. It's like, I picked it up and I knew straight away just from the weight that this was not normal plastic. And once I just checked, oh, what's French ivory? It's like, oh my God, it's celluloid. That was a lovely moment. It was a wonderful, wonderful moment. That is the kind of moment that I would live for if I go to thrift stores. You pick something up, you have a feeling that it's something special, and you just know after 5 seconds of looking online that what you've got is something really good, that it is a real piece of history. And this is what I've got here. I'm so glad that I found it. I'm so glad that I've been able to own it now for a little while. So there you go. This certainly brings me a lot of joy today, and I hope that it brings joy for you as well. Bye bye.